The Hanged Man. We have a flower hanging upside down. The main stem has vines that almost are tying itself up and yet not really connected to anything. It's reaching for answers to the universe but can't quite seem to connect to anything. So the flower isn't connected to the earth in this, and neither are the vines. The Hanged Man is one of those cards that's telling you you're stuck. You're hanging in suspension. Have you ever felt that you know you want to move forward, but you don't know which way to go? You feel as though your mind is arguing in 1,000 different directions all at once without knowing which one to follow. That's these tangled vines. They're going nowhere. The Hanged Man often means that we're looking at things the wrong way round. Our perspective is wrong. This is a little like the story of the forest and the trees. You know, when we're standing inside right inside the forest, it's difficult to see how big the forest is. When we raise above it, we can see the parameters, we can see the structure, we can see how the forest is growing. Sometimes in this situation with the Hanged Man, what we need to do is to turn our thinking around, look at something from a different perspective. When we think it's bad, perhaps it's actually an opportunity. When something's gone wrong, perhaps it is showing you that you're on the wrong path and that it's time to change direction. Do we feel that life has got us in knots? This can indicate in a reading that yes, it has. But the knots are very often of our own mind, our own thinking, our own narrow perspective. You know, it's got to be this way. You know, we can't think outside the box. So when we see the Hanged Man, think outside the box. Think of something different. Ask some advice from someone who doesn't agree with you, perhaps, to allow yourself to see it in a different way. In Rider-Waite, his Hanged Man suggests that there's a man hanging on the gallows and that he's tied up. And that in order to release himself from this tied up situation, he has to sacrifice something, perhaps cut off his foot. What we're doing here is not sacrificing our lives, but perhaps sacrificing a way of thinking. You know, our culture may have tied us into certain behaviours that no longer serve us. So we cut them away. We let them go in order to be able to move forward. So ask yourself, is there something, a way of thinking, a culture, a behaviour, other people's opinions that are trapping you in a situation that you're not happy with? Once you've identified it, then it becomes easier and perhaps less of a sacrifice to make yourself free.